I was originally looking for a way to get more of our kids outside in nature. A lot of times we say kids spend too much time in front of screens, kids spend too much time looking at simulations or just reading about things, and nothing beats the experience of actually physically going into the woods, into nature, and picking up a log and flipping it over and seeing the bugs skirtle out from underneath it. And I met a representative from Riverbend at a meeting I was at, and we started talking.
We began working with Upper Darby about 6 years ago. Right from the beginning, Beth Riches was a fantastic teaching partner for Riverbend and co-created programs and lessons with us.
And then they started talking about a field trip we could put together.
We started doing field trips to Riverbend, and then after the pandemic we sort of had to pivot, and we realized that John Hines is a really great local resource, so we've been taking the entire 4th grade in Upper Darby to John Hines every fall.
We love working with Upper Darby students, and we love our partnership with Beth and with your entire district. So for the past 6 years, we've just been working together, pushing to see how far we can go with this partnership and how rich we can make these environmental education programs.
We have a new science curriculum, and Pennsylvania has new science standards. And so we're looking for ways to make sure we're meeting all of the standards through the new curriculum. And Riverbend approached me and said, we're interested in putting together a lesson about water.
Riverbend and AQUA have been working together as sponsors for our education programs for a couple of years now.
And because what we do at AQUA is protect and provide Earth's most essential resource, which is drinking water and water resources, it was a nice fit for us to come in and help craft some of that curriculum.
They really wanted to focus on the education for kids in Upper Darby around their watersheds.
What's actually happening in their local neighborhood, and this thing that directs them every day when they turn on their faucet.
It wasn't something abstract. It's learn about the drinking water resources in your community. See exactly where we're getting the water before it gets to our treatment plant. So learn all about what actually happens in your backyard that's local to you.
This has been one of the most ambitious classroom programs I think we've ever done in terms of equipment and things, but we wanted this to feel really hands-on and have kids really walk away understanding how to read a map and how AQUA filters the water.
Riverbend educators built the lesson, and then they sent it to me and they said, what do you think, how does this fit? So we looked at the curriculum and found that it would fit perfectly in 5th grade, and it actually meshes beautifully with the water unit that all the 5th grades are just about starting right now.
Several people came into class today and explained the flow of water from the creek to our school.
Where we get our water from and how they filter it and what happens during the process.
We wanted to have maps to show kids how their water gets there, so AQUA's GIS person kindly made us these huge detailed maps that are also 5th grade friendly.
They showed us like where our school was and where we got our water from, and we had a dry erase marker and we had to like draw where we got our water from.
It just really helps to take the theoretical idea of where does our water come from and ground it in the reality of this is exactly what happens with our water.
That's exciting for kids. You see them connecting the dots about how water gets from the natural world to their sinks.
And then we also made these DIY filter kits, so they're actually acting out what happens in the water treatment plant.
You don't want to just go straight up to a creek and get a cup of water safe. It's not safe. First we have a cup of dirty water.
We squeeze out all the air bubbles, and then we put it through a filter.
And then the water looked a little bit cleaner, but it still looked dirty. So they put chlorine into it, and they brought out a special guest. It was a box turtle named Fred. I think it was an eastern box turtle, and they ate like mealworms and vegetables and mushrooms. I learned like his habitat and where he lives at. It was very fun.
It just ties in that not just us, but animals also need fresh water and a clean creek.
This was my first time seeing it live in action with the students participating, and I am thrilled with how the educators presented everything, and the students seemed really engaged.
I was in a classroom about a week after they had had this lesson, and students were remembering vocabulary and ideas that they had learned at the Riverbend lesson. So that shows me that this wasn't just a fun one-off, but they learned something and it stuck with them so that a week later they could use the terminology correctly in their science lesson. So that means it was worthwhile.
This was the first of the program, but we hope that it can be tailored for other classrooms moving forward and other locations.
Riverbend definitely sees this program continuing and hopefully growing for the future. Really, every child should get a chance to learn precisely where their water comes from.
If we can teach our students at a young age that what they do to the land, they're doing to the water resources as well, then as they grow up, they'll be more conscientious stewards of the environment. So we hope that it will continue and we'll continue to support it.